My brothers and sisters, every morning is a gift, a brand new chapter written by the pen of Allah. When your eyes open after a night's rest, it's not your alarm that wakes you up. It's Allah's mercy that allows your heart to beat once more. The question is, what do you do with this gift? Do you begin your morning by connecting with your Creator, or by connecting with your phone? A successful morning is not about luxury coffee, expensive planners, or motivational quotes. It's about starting your day with purpose, with peace, and with remembrance of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that barakah, blessing, lies in the early hours. When you wake up for Fajr, when you whisper your first Alhamdulillah, the angels write down a morning filled with reward and tranquility. The secret to a blessed day begins in those quiet moments before the world wakes up, when it's just you and your Lord. That is when hearts are purified, minds are sharpened, and souls are strengthened. So, if you truly want success, not just worldly success, but success of the heart, learn to build a morning that pleases Allah. Because a believer's morning defines his entire day. If your first step after waking is towards Allah, then every step after will lead you to peace, success, and Jannah, inshallah. When the first rays of dawn begin to touch the sky, and the silence of the night slowly fades, a believer's heart whispers softly, Alhamdulillah. Praise be to Allah who gave us life after death, for to awaken is to be given another chance, another page in the book of destiny. My brothers and sisters, this first moment after your eyes open is more powerful than you can imagine. The first words that flow from your tongue set the tone for your entire day. When you begin with Alhamdulillah, you are not merely uttering a phrase, you are acknowledging the Lord of the worlds. You are declaring that no matter what the day holds, you are grateful for life, for breath, for faith, for Islam. Every morning, millions wake up without realizing what a blessing that moment truly is. But the believer is different. He wakes up with awareness. He understands that he could have been among those whose souls were not returned. So when his lips move with gratitude, the angels record it, and Allah increases him in barakah. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the doors of mercy. When you start your morning with thanks, Allah promises you more. If you are grateful, I will surely increase you. And that increase isn't only in wealth or success, it's in tranquility, contentment, and spiritual strength. The words, Alhamdulillah, are not small. They are heavy in the scales. The Prophet ﷺ said that the most beloved words to Allah are, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. So imagine beginning every morning with a phrase beloved to your Creator. It's as though you are knocking on the doors of blessings before the world even begins. You are reminding your soul, no matter how yesterday went, today begins with gratitude. And when you fill your morning with gratitude, Allah fills your heart with peace. Sometimes we wake up to challenges, stress, illness, sadness, or fear. But even then, when a believer says, Alhamdulillah, he is not denying his pain, he is affirming his trust in Allah. He is saying, Voya Allah, I may not understand this moment, but I know you are with me. That mindset transforms everything. The day that begins with complaint will be heavy, but the day that begins with gratitude will be light. The day that begins with anger will drain you, but the day that begins with Alhamdulillah will uplift you. Think about how the Prophet ﷺ lived. Every morning, his life began with remembrance. He would praise Allah upon waking, seek forgiveness, and renew his purpose. He understood that the first breath after sleep was a mercy that many did not receive. How many times do we go to sleep thinking about our plans, our goals, our problems, but forget that waking up itself is not guaranteed? Gratitude is a form of worship that costs nothing but earns everything. When you say, Alhamdulillah, you are declaring that Allah is worthy of praise in every condition. Whether your heart is at ease or aching, He remains your Lord. Whether the sky is clear or stormy, He remains your protector. Gratitude doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you see Allah's mercy even in imperfection. It means your heart is alive with awareness that every beat, every blink, every breath is a gift. And this habit of gratitude isn't only spiritual, it transforms your entire mindset. Studies may talk about positive psychology, but Islam taught this long before. A grateful believer sees hope where others see despair. He wakes up and instead of saying, "Another hard day," he says, "Another chance to please Allah." And Allah responds to such hearts with more ease, more light, more barakah in time and work. Gratitude also protects you from jealousy and sadness. Because when you start your day thanking Allah, you train your mind to see blessings, not comparisons. You begin to notice the beauty in small things. The quiet morning breeze, the warmth of prayer, the peace after sujud. You realize that true wealth is contentment, and that gratitude is the currency of the soul. So my beloved brothers and sisters, never underestimate that one moment after waking. Before you reach for your phone, before you scroll through messages or worries, let your first action be remembrance. Whisper, "Alhamdulillah," with sincerity. Let it sink deep into your heart. Feel it. Because that one word carries the power to transform your mood, your mindset, and your morning. The one who begins his day thanking Allah never walks alone. The angels walk beside him. The mercy of Allah covers him. And his steps are guided by light. Remember, a successful morning is not about what you achieve, but what you remember. Begin with Alhamdulillah. And watch how Allah writes barakah into your hours. Begin with Alhamdulillah. And notice how your heart becomes calmer, your plans clearer, your actions purer. Gratitude is not the result of success, it is the reason for it. The believer who thanks Allah at dawn will find his day filled with unseen blessings, and his heart filled with peace that no hardship can take away. So tomorrow morning, when your eyes open and the world is still quiet, don't rush. Don't reach for distraction. Instead, take a deep breath and whisper, Alhamdulillah. That whisper might seem small, but in the unseen world, it shakes the heavens with light. It is the secret that transforms ordinary mornings into moments of divine connection. It is the first secret to a successful morning routine. Gratitude to the one who gave you the chance to try again. When the call of Fajr echoes through the silence of the night, when the world is asleep and your soul is gently stirred by that sacred sound, that is the moment when Allah is calling you personally. He is saying, "Come to success, come to prayer." My brothers and sisters, never miss Fajr. It is not just a prayer, it is a protection, a shield that covers you throughout the day. It is your spiritual armor against anxiety, fear, and sin. It is the sign of a heart that loves its Creator more than its comfort. The Fajr prayer separates the sincere from the heedless. Because waking up at that hour is not easy. The blanket feels heavier, the eyes are reluctant, and the bed whispers for you to stay. But the believer's heart whispers louder, "My Lord is waiting." When you rise for Fajr, you are declaring to the world that Allah is greater than your sleep, greater than your desires, greater than everything else. You are proving your love through action. And Allah loves those who sacrifice for Him. The Prophet said that whoever prays Fajr is under the protection of Allah for the entire day. Imagine that. To walk through life covered by divine security, to have angels guarding your path, to have barakah flowing in your work and peace flowing in your soul. That protection is not given to everyone. It is earned by those who rise when others remain asleep. When you stand before Allah in the stillness of dawn, you are surrounded by tranquility. The angels witness your obedience and record your devotion. And that early hour, when the air is still, when the stars fade and the first light touches the horizon, that is the time when du'as are most accepted. You can pour your heart before Allah, whisper your pain, your hope, your fear, your dream. The tears that fall in sujud at Fajr carry a fragrance in the unseen world. The earth testifies, the angels record, and Allah responds. The Prophet told us that the Quran recited at Fajr is witnessed, meaning the angels attend that recitation. Can you imagine? Your Fajr prayer is not just you and Allah, it is a gathering witnessed in the heavens. But when you miss Fajr, you lose more than just a prayer. You lose light, you lose barakah, you lose that shield. You step into the day exposed to anger, stress, and negativity. Many people wonder why their mornings feel empty, why their hearts feel heavy, why their minds are restless. The answer often lies in a missed Fajr, because that prayer brings serenity that no amount of sleep can replace. It's not the extra hour in bed that gives peace. It's the extra moment with Allah. Waking for Fajr requires discipline, but Allah rewards it with peace. At first, it feels difficult, but once you taste the sweetness of Fajr, you'll never want to miss it again. The cool water of wudu on your face, the quiet footsteps to your prayer mat, the softness of the carpet as you place your forehead in sujud, those are moments of purity. Those moments cleanse your soul from the dust of the world. If you struggle to wake up for Fajr, make it your mission to change that. Sleep early, ask Allah for help, and set your intention with sincerity. Before sleeping, whisper a dua, Ya Allah, wake me to meet you at Fajr. You will find that Allah assists those who sincerely wish to obey Him. The Prophet II said that the 2 raka'at of Fajr are better than the world and everything in it. Reflect on that. 2 simple raka'at, taking only minutes, are worth more than the entire dunya. What excuse can be strong enough to let go of such a treasure? Fajr is not just a prayer. It's a moment of identity. It defines who you are. It shows who controls your life, your nafs or your faith. When you rise at that hour, you rise with dignity. You walk into the day with purpose. The one who prays Fajr feels a lightness in the heart, a calm that others cannot describe. It is a feeling of knowing that you have already connected with your Lord, that your soul has been fed before your body even eats. You see, my brothers and sisters, success is not found in wealth, followers, or titles. It begins with discipline, with devotion, with sincerity. Fajr teaches you that. It teaches you to prioritize what truly matters. When you rise early for prayer, your entire schedule gains structure. Your time gains blessing. Your mind becomes sharper. You find yourself calmer in chaos, stronger in trials, and more focused in life. Because the one who wins the battle against the bed, wins the battle against laziness. There are moments when you might struggle. Your body may resist. Shaitan may whisper, just 5 more minutes. But remember, every time you resist him and rise, you are defeating him in the most powerful way. The Prophet 6 said that when you sleep, Shaitan ties 3 knots at the back of your neck, whispering, sleep, you have a long night. But when you wake, remember Allah, and pray. Those knots are untied, and you start your day energetic and pure. The one who ignores it, however, wakes up lazy and heavy-hearted. So never underestimate Fajr. It's not only a command, it's a blessing. It's the time when the world is still, and Allah's mercy descends. It's the hour of quiet connection, where your heart speaks and your Lord listens. When you make Fajr your priority, you are choosing Allah over your comfort. And in return, Allah grants you comfort in every difficulty. Tomorrow, when the adhan of Fajr calls, don't let your blanket hold you back. Think of the angels waiting to record your name among those who stood in prayer. Think of the mercy descending. Think of the smile on your Lord's face when you rise for His sake. The world may still be asleep, but you are awake for the sake of the one who never sleeps. And when you finish your Fajr, when you raise your hands and make dua, know that your entire day has already been blessed. You are walking under Allah's protection. You have worn your spiritual armor. You have entered the day as a warrior of light, shielded by prayer, guided by purpose, strengthened by faith. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, never miss Fajr. Guard it. Honor it. Live by it, because the one who guards Fajr, Allah guards him. And the one who begins his day with Fajr, begins his day with the light of Jannah already shining in his heart. When the first light of dawn begins to spread, and the world is still quiet, there is a sacred calmness that fills the air, a peace that belongs only to those who rise to remember Allah. And among the greatest acts of remembrance in those early hours is the recitation of the Quran. The Quran at dawn is not like the Quran at any other time. Allah Himself says in the Quran, "Indeed, the recitation of the Quran at dawn is ever witnessed." Do you know what that means? It means that when you open the book of Allah in those blessed hours, the angels descend to listen. They bear witness to your voice as it trembles through the verses, and the heavens record your devotion. My brothers and sisters, reciting the Quran at dawn is a nourishment for the heart. It is food for the soul. It is the oxygen of your faith. You may have woken up tired, but as soon as you begin to recite, something inside you awakens. Something that sleep cannot give and the world cannot take. The Quran spoken in the stillness of the morning touches the heart differently. It clears your mind, purifies your thoughts, and fills your soul with tranquility. There are people who begin their morning with the noise of the world, scrolling, talking, worrying. And there are others who begin their morning by listening to the words of their Creator. And the difference between them is like the difference between light and darkness. The one who begins with the Quran walks into the day with calmness and guidance, while the one who neglects it feels lost, distracted, and restless. The Quran is not just a book to be read, it's a conversation with Allah. Every word you recite is a reminder that your Lord is speaking to you, guiding you, comforting you, and correcting you. Imagine the King of all creation has sent you a personal message, and every morning He invites you to open it, to feel its light, to taste its peace. When you recite, it is as if the veil between you and the divine lifts, and your heart begins to breathe again. So, when you pick up the Quran at dawn, don't rush. Don't read just to finish pages. Read to feel, read to absorb, read to heal. Let the verses sink deep into your heart. Let them wash away the worries that the world placed upon you. The Quran is a cleanser. It removes the stains of sin, it purifies intentions, and it softens hearts that have hardened through trials. Some people say, "I don't have time." But Allah is the one who gave you time, and He can bless it. Give Him a few moments at dawn, and you will see barakah fill your hours. You will get more done. You will feel more focused, and your day will carry a strange peace that cannot be explained. Because the one who begins with the Quran is guided by its light for the rest of the day. When you recite at dawn, the world is silent, no distractions, no interruptions. That is when your soul is most open to truth. That is when the Quran enters your heart like gentle rain upon dry earth. The Prophet Decor would recite long portions of Quran during Fajr and Tahajjud, because those moments were filled with sincerity. In that quiet, every letter becomes heavier in reward, every verse becomes deeper in meaning. You may not always understand every word you read, but the Quran still heals you. Its Arabic rhythms, its divine energy, its spiritual beauty, they touch your heart even when your mind cannot translate them. That is the miracle of this book. Even when you read slowly, even when your pronunciation isn't perfect, the angels gather to record your effort. The Prophet Caesar said that the one who recites the Quran with difficulty receives double the reward, one for reading and one for striving. So never feel that your recitation is too weak or too broken. To Allah, your voice is beautiful when it carries His words. Sometimes, as you read, you will come across a verse that pierces your heart, a reminder of forgiveness, a warning about heedlessness, a promise of paradise. That is not random. That is Allah speaking directly to you. The Quran meets you where you are. It addresses your pain, your confusion, your longing, your sin. And that is why reciting it at dawn is powerful. Because at that hour, your heart is most sincere, most quiet, most ready to listen. When you make Quran a part of your morning routine, you begin to see life differently. You start to notice Allah's signs in small things. Your patience increases, your anger softens, your tongue becomes kinder, your eyes avoid sin. Because the Quran molds your heart before the world can influence it. It gives you direction when life feels uncertain, and it gives you strength when you feel weak. The early Muslims understood this secret. They would say, "Whoever wants light in his heart, let him recite the Quran at Fajr." They would wake up even before dawn, perform wudu, and spend moments with the Book of Allah. They knew that those words were not just ink on paper, they were guidance, mercy, and life. They built empires and carried Islam to nations, yet they always began their mornings with Quran. Their strength came from that connection. Today, we live in a world full of noise, distraction, and temptation. Our minds are restless, our hearts heavy. But the cure remains the same: Quran at dawn. Try it for a week. Wake up before Fajr or after, sit in a quiet corner, and open the Book of Allah. Read even one page with sincerity. You will feel the difference. You will feel a peace that no sleep can offer, a clarity that no motivational video can provide. The Quran is your mirror. It shows you who you are and who you can become. It reminds you that Allah is near, that He forgives, that He sees your efforts and hears your whispers. When you begin your morning with Quran, you begin your day in conversation with the one who controls everything that will happen in it. So, my brothers and sisters, make it a habit. After Fajr, before the rush of the day begins, sit for a few moments and recite. Let those divine words cleanse your heart from yesterday's heaviness and prepare you for today's journey. The Quran is the believer's companion, the traveler's map, the broken heart's medicine, and the dawn is its most beautiful time. Recite Quran at dawn, not because you have to, but because you love to. Because it is your way of saying, "Fear Allah, I want to begin my day with you." That sincerity will be rewarded in ways you cannot imagine. Your day will carry barakah. Your soul will find peace. Your heart will glow with light that people around you can feel. So rise tomorrow, make your wudu, and open the Quran. Let the angels witness your voice. Let the verses wash over your heart, and let your soul be fed by the words of your Creator. That is how a believer begins his morning. With light, with purpose, and with peace that only Allah can give. In a world that never stops talking, where notifications never stop flashing and minds are constantly racing, there is a desperate need for silence, a sacred space where the heart can breathe again. My brothers and sisters, the fourth secret to a successful morning is simple yet deeply powerful: disconnect from the world and reconnect with Allah first. Before you open your phone, open your heart. Before you check what the world is saying, remember what your Creator has already told you. Before you reply to messages, reply to the call of your soul, because your morning connection defines the direction of your day. Every morning, millions wake up and the first thing they reach for is their device. Eyes barely open, hearts still heavy, they scroll through messages, emails, and endless streams of noise. Yet, before speaking to Allah, they speak to the world. Before thanking the one who gave them life, they chase the opinions of people. And that is why many feel lost, anxious, or empty before the day even begins. Because they are plugged into everything except their purpose. The believer is different. When he wakes up, his heart seeks the divine. He disconnects from distractions and reconnects with the one who sustains his soul. He starts his morning with remembrance, with prayer, with peace. He knows that true connection begins not with Wi-Fi but with dua. It begins not with social media but with sujud. Because the soul, like the body, hungers. And no number of likes or messages can feed it, only Allah can. When you disconnect from the world in those early hours, you give your heart a chance to reset. The silence of dawn becomes your sanctuary. You can hear your thoughts, you can hear your soul whispering truths that the noise of the world usually drowns out. You begin to see clearly what truly matters. Not status, not attention, not approval, but peace with Allah. Reconnecting with Allah first thing in the morning sets your entire day upon the right foundation. When you begin your day remembering Him, you carry His remembrance in every step. When you bow before Him before anyone else, you rise stronger, calmer, and wiser. When you take time to speak to Him, your speech with others becomes softer, purer, more intentional. The one who starts with Allah walks through the world with light, while the one who starts with the world walks through the day chasing shadows. Sometimes we wonder why our days feel chaotic, why our hearts feel restless, why our patience runs out so fast. The answer is simple. We filled our mornings with the world and left no space for Allah. Our minds became full of other people's thoughts, our hearts full of comparisons, our souls full of noise. But the one who begins with Allah experiences a calmness that no chaos can steal. He doesn't need validation from others, because he already found it in his connection with his Lord. So, make it a habit to disconnect in the early hours. Leave your phone aside. Don't rush to messages or notifications. The world can wait, but your soul cannot. Perform wudu slowly. Feel the coolness of the water washing away yesterday's stress. Sit quietly on your prayer mat. Whisper Bismillah. Breathe. Reflect. Let your first conversation of the day be with the one who gave you another chance to live. The Prophet would begin his mornings with Dhikr, with istighfar, and with reflection. His heart was fully connected to Allah before he faced the world. That's why he carried peace even in hardship. That's why he smiled even when others would cry. He had a connection stronger than the storms around him. That connection was built in those moments of solitude before dawn. Moments when he disconnected from creation to connect with the Creator. We live in times where silence feels strange. People are uncomfortable with stillness. They must fill every second with sound, music, messages, noise. But the believer learns to cherish silence, because that is when he truly hears Allah's guidance. The Quran says, "Remember your Lord within yourself, humbly and in fear, without loudness in words, in the mornings and evenings, and do not be among the heedless." That remembrance is the heart's lifeline. Without it, the soul suffocates. When you take a few minutes each morning to sit quietly, close your eyes, and remember Allah, you are giving your heart a gift that the world cannot offer. It's not wasted time, it's sacred time. It's time that purifies, heals, and strengthens you for what lies ahead. The one who starts the morning connected to Allah walks through the day connected to peace. There will always be things demanding your attention. There will always be noise around you. But your power lies in choosing stillness over distraction, worship over worry. The prophets have said, the most beloved actions to Allah are those done consistently, even if small. So even if it's just 5 minutes of quiet dhikr, do it every day. That small act builds an unbreakable spiritual connection over time. When you reconnect with Allah first, you begin to see life differently. You start noticing blessings instead of complaints. You start handling challenges with patience instead of panic. You start living intentionally instead of automatically. Because your heart is grounded. Your mind is anchored. You are not just reacting to the world. You are guided by the one who created it. The one who begins the morning with Allah doesn't lose himself in the noise of others. He listens to guidance instead of gossip. He spreads peace instead of pressure. He moves with purpose instead of haste. When the Quran, Dua, and Dhikr fill your morning, your entire day becomes a reflection of that barakah. So tomorrow when you wake up, pause before touching your phone. Let your first good morning be a whisper to your Lord. Let your first glance be toward the prayer mat, not the screen. Let your first thought be, Alhamdulillah, not, what's new. Those small choices build an unshakable connection. They make your heart light and your mind clear. Remember, the world will always be waiting. Messages, tasks, deadlines, they will all still be there after Fajr. But that sacred hour before the rush, you will never get it back once it's gone. So use it wisely. Use it to strengthen your bond with Allah, to feed your soul, to fill your heart with remembrance. When you disconnect from the world and reconnect with Allah, your entire being transforms. You carry light in your face, calmness in your tone, wisdom in your actions, and contentment in your heart. People will notice something different about you, but they won't understand it. That difference is the result of your quiet connection. So make it your routine. No screen before sujood, No messages before Dhikr, no distractions before dua. Choose silence, choose stillness, choose Allah. Because the one who begins his morning connected to Allah never walks disconnected through the day. His heart stays alive, his mind stays pure, and his soul stays peaceful, no matter what the world brings. And that, my brothers and sisters, is the secret to a truly successful morning, one that begins not with noise, but with divine peace. There is a moment in every morning, a sacred pause between darkness and light, when the world is quiet and your soul is awake. That is the moment when your dua carries the most weight. The fifth secret to a successful morning is to make dua, not just any dua, but a sincere, humble, deeply felt conversation with Allah. Because every destiny begins with a prayer, and every prayer opens a door that effort alone can never unlock. My brothers and sisters, dua is not a ritual, it's a lifeline. It's your private meeting with the Lord of the worlds. Before you step into the noise of the day, take a moment to speak to Him who already knows everything you're going to face. Tell Him your fears, your hopes, your plans. Ask Him to bless your morning, to protect your peace, to guide your choices, to purify your intentions, and to keep your heart firm. One sincere dua made with tears at dawn can change the course of your entire day, and perhaps your entire life. The Prophet Muhammad taught us that dua is the essence of worship. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of faith. It's saying, "Oh ya Allah, I cannot do this alone." It's surrendering control to the one who controls everything. The most powerful people in this world are not those who wake up to plan, but those who wake up to play. Because when you begin your morning in submission, the rest of your day moves in harmony. We live in a world that glorifies independence. I can handle it, I can manage, I can do it all. But the believer knows true strength lies in dependence. Depending on Allah, you can plan your day down to every detail. But if you forget to ask for His blessing, your plans will exhaust you. Yet a single dua can bring barakah to every task you touch. That's why the early generations of believers would never begin their day without raising their hands and saying, "Oh Allah, I seek the goodness of this day, its victory, its light, its blessings, and its guidance." Dua in the morning is not only for asking, it is for connecting. It's a reminder that you are not walking into your day alone. When you leave your home, remember the dua of the Prophet said you, "In the name of Allah, I place my trust in Allah. There is no power and no might except with Allah." When you say that with conviction, the angels surround you, Shaitan flees from you, and every step you take is protected by divine care. You walk through your day not with fear, but with faith. Dua transforms your mindset. Without dua, the believer looks at challenges and feels overwhelmed. With dua, he looks at the same challenges and feels empowered. Because dua reminds him that the outcome is not in his hands, it's in Allah's. It reminds him that success is not about control, it's about trust. You may not know what's written for you today, but when you begin your morning asking Allah to guide it, you are asking the writer himself to write it beautifully. How many times have we rushed into our mornings, checking notifications, chasing schedules, worrying about deadlines, only to find our hearts heavy and our minds scattered? And how many times have we started our day with a quiet dua, and somehow, even when things went wrong, everything felt right? That is the secret of dua. It doesn't always change your circumstances immediately, it changes you. It strengthens your heart so that no matter what the day brings, you remain calm, patient, and grateful. Imagine this: every morning, before you speak to anyone else, you raise your hands and speak to the one who created the morning itself. You whisper, "Ya Allah, bless my time, bless my health, bless my family, bless my sustenance, and make me among those who remember you often." That small act fills your day with unseen blessings. Doors open where you didn't expect them. You find ease in places where others struggled. You smile through what would normally break you. That is not coincidence. That is the power of dua. Sometimes people say, I've been making dua for years, and nothing changes. But the truth is, dua is never wasted. The Prophet EZ told us that every dua is answered in one of three ways. Allah grants it immediately, He delays it for a better time, or He stores it as reward in the hereafter. So, when you make dua in the morning, never think it goes unheard. The moment your lips move, the angels rise to carry your words to the heavens. And the Lord, who loves you more than you love yourself, listens, even when you whisper. My dear brothers and sisters, dua is the language of faith. It's how you turn your worries into worship. When something weighs heavy on your heart, don't post about it, pray about it. When you don't know what to do, don't overthink. Raise your hands. Dua doesn't require perfection. You don't need fancy words. All you need is sincerity. You can cry, you can pause, you can simply say, Ya Allah, help me. And He listens. Every morning, make dua for guidance. Because your plans can only go so far, but Allah's plan is perfect. Ask Him to protect you from sins you don't see, from people who mean harm, from pride that blinds you, and from desires that destroy peace. Ask Him to make your heart pure, your path straight, your tongue truthful, and your life meaningful. Ask Him to make your morning a source of light, and your actions a source of reward.